Hello, my name is Leo, welcome back for another episode of Ep10 as North German Federation, and we are relatively soon about to embark into a war, which might actually allow us to, well, not necessarily immediately, but somewhere down the line, actually form Germany. Now, we'll still need to convince Bavaria to actually support us in that effort, but that's fine. We've got a decent bit of things being built, although we might want to let the private sector take over the construction while we do the fighting. There's a lot of money in the investment pool. We've got 5.5 million in the cash reserves, though, so that's not too shabby. Looks like we've got some positive things happening with the weather as well. So, how much do the French actually have troops? 150 battalions. We've got 115 over here on the defense. They've got fairly good attacks, though. So they might actually be better suited in there than we are. I'm going to go ahead and start... yeah, we're going to start mobilizing this already. It does mean that it's probably going to cause a bit of issues, but that's fine. Mostly monetary issues. So the French are sending in a bit of an army in here. I'm going to go ahead and send my fleet, which admittedly is not necessarily in a particularly great organization right now. I suppose they got the new leader fairly recently. We're going to go into the Danish Straits and we'll start doing a bit of raiding convoys. I think that will be fine. That way the French troops over here on the border with the... Oh, there's Austria. Alright then, can I invite anyone else? I could get the Netherlands. I could maybe get Sweden. Oh wait, hold on, what's that? What was that again? Right, yeah, Austria joining. Not only for this war, though. So I could invite Sweden. Let's see, I can get an obligation for them. That's fine. So that's going to allow us to push from the other side. We'll have this army just, I guess, get on the front line with Austria. Losing a lot of money right now, so we're going to get a bit of a higher taxes, I reckon. We'll also go ahead and put in the military wages a bit higher. Probably actually max out the military wages right now. So that will probably help. So Sweden sides with us, good. Is there anyone else that we could invite? There is still, of course, the Dutch, I suppose. They only got 40 battalions though, so it's not really going to be that massive. Our side does have the naval supremacy. Oh, actually, if we're going to start fighting Austria, how bad is our relations with Britain? They're still fairly decent. Let me just have a look. So they are still very much likely to stay in on our side, even if we add in another war goal. Can I... Row claims... I could maybe try to go ahead and conquer some states. So what I would probably want is Bohemia. And Moravia, but that's going to be 35 points each, and that's going to be too much. So we can't really afford those two. Going to be transit subjects. And we get Denmark. Well, I don't think we need to do that. We'll try to get Krakow. No, I think we're just going to get war reparations from... Austria, I think. That's going to give us a bit more money, and then maybe we can also go ahead and get the war reparations from France. How much? We've still got 45 points in here. Let me go ahead and get the... Oh, actually, what state can we transfer? It would be giving them lands, wouldn't it? So we'll give another obligation, I guess. So Netherlands sides with us. Good. This is going to be a big war here. I'm going to go ahead and slow down to speed 3, actually, because there's going to be so many troops moving back and forth. Let me just double check that my troops are set to be defending. They're not. They probably should be. Having some influence issues here. Or lack thereof. I guess, actually, at this point, we're going to stop bankrolling the Bavarians. For obvious reasons. I suppose we don't need to improve relations with Schleswig-Holstein now, either. There we go. So how is the... Baden, we've got fairly good relations already, don't we? I'd say, yeah, we do. I don't suppose with Bavaria we can do much. They are a bit wary of me, probably because of the infamy. But that doesn't surprise me. So we're losing about £19,000 per week. We've got over 5 million cash reserves though, so we can probably keep that going for a while. We're getting a bit of help on the... especially the Danish border. I suppose with Sweden joining in. I don't know if there's going to be a land border in here. It might be. I'm not entirely sure, actually. There's definitely a lot of Austrian and French troops heading into the South Tyrol front. I'm going to go ahead and send this army over there. We can probably send this one as well. This is in there, so we'll get another 30 battalions to the front line there. Because there is so many Austrian troops in there. While the Austrian troops might not be that great in quality compared to what we have, it's not initially that much worse, but a little bit worse. But there are so many of them. Oh, postal savings. There we go. So we're getting the... Oh, right. Baking powder we're still working on. I suppose after getting the civilizer mission, we might want to go ahead and focus on some of the military stuff, like breech-loading artillery. That would be quite useful. Repeaters would allow us to get even cheaper production for the rifles. Then ironclads and canter cranes would be nice to updating our fleets. Which, admittedly, our fleet is still quite small, but it would still be nice. Oh, and New Granada is bringing some troops. So there's a lot of French troops in Denmark. Of course, if we can sink those convoys... Oh, do they really not have any troops in the Alsace-Lorraine front? Well, they got a little bit, but are they not sending anymore? Okay, we're going to let the war start, I think. But then we're going to just punch through here and go as far as we can get towards Paris. If we can force France out of the war, then Austria should not be too big of a problem to defeat, especially with the British help. They'll probably send more troops in there, but right now, if they're really just relying on two armies, two fairly small armies in here, then who am I to complain? Because that is the war, or one of the war goals that we have. Actually, did we? Yeah, I suppose Vienna is going to be one of our war goals, or strategic targets there. So that's fine. Can I actually turn Paris into one as well? Yes. Okay then, so we got the 50 battalions from the British, as well as our troops here. I don't know if the British are... Well, okay, it's not just British, but yeah, we've got a decent bit of troops in there. Oh, they're back down. Well, I guess that's fine. So now we've got that entire state in our control, at least. Which does mean that our infamy actually dropped down quite a bit. So, I suppose we can start bankrolling Bavaria again. We'll try to get them into supporting us. Of course, that would still not be quite sufficient then to form Germany, but that is going to get us to 22 out of 23 needed. So that is already a lot closer. But hey, I'll take that, honestly. That would have been a very costly and long war. But what I can, of course, do now is we can reduce the taxes and reduce the army maintenance. So that's not going to be too bad for money. And of course, the standard of living should be recovering again. In that case, we can speed up a little bit. And let's have a look at the... Oh, right, French Empire. They've changed color a little bit there, I think. Getting more and more territory down here in the south. Do we still have any states that we need? No, I don't think we need to incorporate any states. Let me just double check. No, everything's being incorporated. That's good. Ooh, we got a little bit of authority, actually. And we might actually pass the taxation law now. Here we are. It's a bit of deficit right now, but I suspect that there's still going to be, like, the lower levels should be fine, or better standard of living then. And the more wealthier individuals, perhaps less so. But as of course, once we... Oh, right, so... Well, they did get the French support in the Civil War still, so they are probably going to win that Civil War. But that might not be sufficient. Oh, right, and the... Oh, we got another fleet and another army, I guess. So this is at least skirmish infantry. Who are we going to transfer this into? Maybe the main army. Can get a few of those. We'll send 5 infantry there. Which is going to be very heavy, infantry-heavy army there. Maybe we'll go ahead and send like 3 each to the 15 battalion armies. So the main army and then Elbe army is going to get another 3. That gets rid of the entire army. And I suppose what I can do then... I'm going to go ahead and get those 2 armies, and I'm going to get a little artillery in those. Do we have... actually, where do we have a lot of job seekers? Let's seek according with peasants. The Poland's got a little bit. Yeah, we'll get 1 in there. And I suppose Silesia can get another 1. So that's going to get to 3 artillery on the Elbe army, which admittedly it might be a little bit less than ideal. Oh, we got another army. Right, that's probably combining with the main army still. Speaking of which, let's go and get a couple more artillery in here. So, Anhalt, you know what, we'll get some over there. There's a lot of peasants in there. Wait, it's 3? No, we need 2, don't we? Go ahead and remove the last one from the list. So that should get us to 17 plus the 3 that are joining in from the other army. Oh, Friedrich Wilhelm is our new king. Right, let's have a look. Is that... Oh, we do have a bit of lack of authority. We might need to remove one of the consumption taxes then. Is there anything else good? Okay, so coffee is the most valuable in there of these. Of the sort of luxury good consumption taxes. So, current ruler, oh, is a bit of a young one. His landowners, not exactly the best option then. A bit low popularity because of his child. He's only 7 years old. Alright, anyone else willing to take the embassy? Not right now, okay. I wonder if we could get a power blocker expander into Italy as well. That would be quite an interesting one. But there we go, that was at least a mining accident. I'm going to improve the relations with Rule Pork a little bit. If we can get them not be as upset, so that's just going to fix the tech spread a little bit. Which is, Foreign Manifesto, Labour Movement. I don't necessarily want to anger the trade unions, so I guess that's fine for now. Got so many movements in here. We don't have the authority really to, you know, try to suppress any of those either. But there we go, there's a lot of iron mines being built in Westphalia, which, but we still got quite expense on the construction side of things. We're spending so much money on iron. Let's have a look at the world in the meanwhile. So Korea is not a puppet of China, that's good. Empire Japan has colonized most of Sakhalin. There is still a small bit over there in the northern section that is missing. Ooh, looks like Dutch East Indies has lost a bit of areas over here. Alger, at least, is not under their control. Oh, then we might be getting a Ethiopia over here at some point. And in the meanwhile, our colony is, well, very, very slowly expanding. I suppose, technically speaking, going for Ethiopia might be a somewhat easy way to get a couple states in Africa. That would be for the Berlin Conference thing. Which, of course, is one of our targets for this series. Oh, right, and then we have the, right, we got the other fleet over here. Let's go ahead and just transfer that frigate in. Perhaps it would be time to get up to, yeah, let's just get another man of war. Let's see, where do we have more peasants in here? I suppose Pomerania's got quite a bit, so we'll get another man of war in there. That's going to be up to 20 ships, and I suppose we can go ahead and send that fleet back to home, right? There we are. So that's no longer sitting in there. Which might reduce some of the cost. I'm not actually entirely sure if it will, but I'm hoping that it does. Oh, right, so we've got the bureaucracy. Do we have... Oh, no, we don't have enough points to... Oh, it's just like 1 point short. Okay, can we... Yeah, still got a lot of nationally owned buildings. But there's a whole lot of that is probably... I don't know if the barracks count. There's a lot of rifles. We're trying to sell them already. Maybe the shipyard we could sell. That might be something that we can at least give out. And then... Paper mills do give us a decent bit of money. Munition plant are quite useful to have. Although maybe we can get a little bit more productivity out of them if we sell those. But clearly what we do need to do is just build another government administration. So let's figure out a location for that. Go with the low taxation. So Anhalt. And Paulson. Well, we'll get one in Paulson. Actually, that should probably be put to the top of the list there. Let's look at some of the iron mines in the meanwhile. The military is still... I mean, I suppose we are going to be increasing the military size a little bit further. But it's starting to be relatively formidable, I would say. Like 240 battalions of skirmish infantry. And we do need to get more artillery for our armies. But overall, we got a fairly good situation. Like, we probably would have won the battle against the French over here. And probably started pushing towards Paris. It probably would have taken a while. But it would have been possible. Now that we're on all of Schleswig-Holstein, that does mean that there's a bit less for us to worry about in the unification side of things. Unfortunately, Bavaria does not support us quite yet. How close are they, actually? It's -5, so that's not too bad. We need to get one more state. It's either from France or from Austria. Either one would work. But then we can form Germany. I think we need to get the Alsace-Lorraine. Because that is... it's got a couple companies in there, actually, as well. Potentially a lot of money. They've got a lot of mining that I can do, and there's the vineyards and wheat farms, so livestock ranches could also be built there. Not necessarily the most variety in the buildings that can be built in the agricultural buildings in particular. But it could be worse. Hey, we got some bureaucracy now, so let's go ahead. Oh, wait, no. Oh, we need 239. Okay, never mind. So we do need to get the bureaucracy increased, but then we can get the colonization improved a bit further. We are colonizing at a decent speed. I think it's going to be maxed out at 5. Well, actually, no, it might go a bit higher than that. But yeah, it's the population's fairly large in there. So it's going to be somewhat limited anyway. How's the... Oh, right, we got some unemployment in here. Perhaps it would be worthwhile to build some sort of industry in here. Maybe a... You know what, fertilizer plant might not be terrible. Although I suppose we don't have sulfur or anything like that in here. So maybe not that. We could just build a textile mill, actually. And the port doesn't still have enough people working in there. Which I'm guessing the infrastructure is... no, there's plenty available there still. Oh, baking powder. 6 more weeks. Can't wait for that. Go on speed 5 in the meanwhile. Well, the baking powder is done. I mean, we're losing a bit of money right now, but it's not too bad. I suppose once the standard of living starts improving, which is still not all that great. But it's along the highs that it's been for us in this run thus far. Oh, right, that was a building being completed. We got the bureaucracy. Yeah, there's the baking powder done. So first of all, let's get the colonial affairs underway. Do we actually... We're not trying to pass any laws right now, are we? No, we could try to get protectionism. Industrialists would oppose that a little bit, but that would improve the... Oh, lever resistance would be improved. Some of the tariffs might be reduced, but that's alright. That would allow us to have the privately owned trade centers, which could be kind of useful. On the other hand, we do not have the home affairs yet. Another thing, of course, would be the social security go for poor laws, but that would require a lot more bureaucracy, mind you. We do still have a massive amount of radicals, although we did reduce them a decent bit recently. Health system, we could go, of course, for the public health insurance. Industrialists would vehemently oppose that, but that would reduce the labor movement's radicalism drastically. I think we might actually try to go for this. There's some chance for it to stall, so it's not exactly the greatest situation there, but I think we are going to take that risk. Because that would improve the population growth drastically as well, which would mean that we can then do a lot more fighting in wars, because we'll have new people joining in the ranks constantly. Which, considering that we still need to fight Austria or France for unification of Germany, it's not going to be easy. Are we a rival with France? No, they are a bit rather hostile towards me, though. We're not rivals. Although, admittedly, I'm allied to one of their rivals, so that probably doesn't help with the relations now, does it? Oh, right, and we got the baking powders. Let's go and switch that in on the food industries. So that's going to be a lot more grain and a lot more sugar. But that's going to be offering a lot more groceries into the market. Which, of course, is more effective as a food compared to the... Oh, right, yeah, we don't necessarily need to worry about the pot still. Some of them might not have that. Well, at least the one in Saxony doesn't have it. But we've got the rye farms already providing plenty of alcohol, so we don't really need to have that directly. Actually, do we have all of them providing the... Hold on a minute. So rye farms, yeah, we do have all of these providing alcohol. So if we were to go ahead and just go without the pot stills, that would be 600 liquor lost. How much do we have extra in the market then? I guess we do have a little bit. No, we got almost 600. So it's not really that bad. That would increase the groceries, of course, drastically. Maybe we can do, or go ahead and switch on at least one. Well, actually, we'll keep it. That one can be as is. We'll switch a few of these to provide us groceries. So that's going to be a whole lot more groceries overall. That should then allow us to. Oh yeah, that's 800 extra groceries right now. So that should start reducing the grain balance, or grain imbalance rather, I suppose. Grain is still about half of the basic food need. But that is now drifting downwards, and the groceries should be taking more and more portion of that. Of course, meat is also something that we can hopefully at least provide a decent chunk. Yeah, it's already 49%, so the groceries are 15. We've still got a... Well, there's not that much more, actually. But there's still a decent amount of groceries available overall, so I suppose that's fine. We're getting the naval base, and then we're getting... Oh, right, actually, we don't have enough construction going on right now. Which is admittedly saving us money, but we're not really short on cash. So perhaps we could go ahead and just build another construction sector or two. Get another one in Silesia, and then... Do we have... Well, we've got the logging camps over here. But I don't know if we want to increase the Brandenburg construction offices too much. Where else? So is Hesse? Hesse's got iron and coal. So that could also be okay for construction sector. They got plenty of peasants as well, so we'll get that one underway. That's going to get us to 120 total. And then after that, what do we need in terms of resources or productions in general? We do need more wood. We do need more clothing. We're going to get another... Well, we're getting the textile mill in the Niger Delta. We should then help the local population a decent bit there as well. reducing any potential revolutions. We are having it, well, not really a lack of porcelain. It's not the best situation. But I suppose, yeah, the logging industry is something that we could probably go ahead and increase a bit further. So Elba is already maxed out there, yeah. I guess Anhalt we could get a few more. Get that to 15 total. Just providing some cheap wood into the market will probably help quite a bit. Nope. Bavaria still doesn't support us, still -5, so that hasn't really changed too much, has it? There's still cordial relations. I suppose that is at least improving. They are still cautious, although I think that might be changing soon. We do... Oh, right, yeah, we are bankrolling them, but I don't think we have a obligation yet. No, we do not. Rajin speech captivates the public. Ooh. I'll take that. There we go, so 45% chance of passing the law. That's pretty good. And we're getting the extra construction speed already. Getting the construction sectors, then we'll get the logging camps. What else do we need? I suppose let's actually have a look at the population. Like the lower strata. On the needs, they are spending a good chunk of their money on grain. Although I suppose groceries, well, yeah, they're not spending quite as much on groceries. Clothing is fairly high demand as well. So that's one of those things that we should probably increase production. We've got already 10 levels in Silesia. Maybe we'll go ahead and build another one elsewhere. Where do we have a lot of... okay, we've got a bit of livestock ranch over here. Westphalia could be... Oh, actually, where do we have the decrees for manufacturers again? Westphalia and Brandenburg. So I suppose one of these will get... Neither one of them has a massive workforce, but I guess we'll get a... Wait, no, we do have it. Wait, what? Oh, there's the textile mill. I'm blind. Right, so we'll get one... Maybe we'll get even 2 over here in the capital. Get the textile situation sorted out slightly better. And Bavaria, we still can't get particularly good relations with you, although things are improving. I think once we get about to, I suppose up to 50 would probably be the best bet. Then they might become more friendly towards us, and then perhaps they will finally support us in the independent stuff. The infamy is slowly dropping, which is quite nice. Getting another artillery foundry in our capital as well. That's by the private sector. Is that actually by the Krupp? I don't know, actually. No, it was a financial district. But Krupp is building a steel mill somewhere. Was that in Westphalia? No, that's Silesia. Alright then. Then East Prussia is getting glassworks, which does mean a bit more porcelain. I was just saying that porcelain is running a little bit low. There we go, 35 million in GDP. Of course, the difference between us and the French is still... Oh, it's basically... Oh, well, we just overtook them. Right, the difference between us and Russia is about 6 million-ish. A bit short of that. I suspect our industry is growing a decent chunk. And we should be able to get a lot more food. Actually, crystal glass, we can go for that one, can't we? There we go. And ceramics, we want to have at least a little bit of that. Right, do we have, so Mecklenburg, well, actually no, well I suppose, yeah, Mecklenburg doesn't have a whole lot of population available. We'll start using water tube boilers there, to reduce the amount of labor needed in here. And then that's at least going to free up some more workers to go elsewhere. That's also going to increase the demand for coal, admittedly, which is not initially a bad thing. The artillery foundry could, oh right, they go, the smooth balls, they can't use the other thing yet. The logging camps there are using already the rail transportation. The farms are using the harvesting tools. So there's not too much. Livestock ranches, we got the... Oh, right, we could get the barbed wire fences, actually. That's going to free up a bit more workforce. There's some unemployed, but there's some jobs available in the state already, so it's not going to be too bad. Is there any other states that are having... Actually, the easiest way probably to check that is if we go for building something, let's say, for example, a rye farm. And then we just have a look at the places that have the least amount of peasants. So Schleswig-Holstein is a pretty low amount. Most of the other places are actually pretty decent. Of course, that doesn't cover all the states, but it covers most of them. So Schleswig-Holstein, is there something that we can do in here? I suppose we could get the water to boiler. Reduce the workers at the tooling workshop. Although, I suppose we don't really need that many peasants in here. It does help a little bit with the local demand for some things. Oh, low approach to consideration. There we go. And the textile mills in Niger Delta are going to be completed. We'll still be getting a few more logging camps. And then a couple more textile mills. What else do we need? We do need some more coal. We're going to get some more coal in our capital. We'll get another 3 over there, for example. And of course, Westphalia could probably use a bit more for the steel mill, so we'll get another 3 there. That's going to keep the productions going, and while we are losing a little bit money, it's not too bad right now. We've still got a good 6 million in gold reserves. And the GDP is still slowly growing. It's going to take a while before it's fully activating everything, but that's fine. Oh, Saxony's got the railway now fully employed. And standard living average is now 11, so things are definitely on the rise. Right, Austria hasn't started losing stuff in Italy yet. But we are definitely getting closer to that. Who is France allied to? They are hostile to us. They've got a lot of defensive back, including Switzerland. And Siam, Messina, and Kandahar. The rival to Britain, of course. Oh, Denmark is their protectorate. Oh. Okay. They're supporting the independence of Siam. They're giving military assistance to Denmark. Oh, Bulgaria is owing an obligation to them. Alright then. Alright, we completed the relations, improved the relation with Tuscany as far as it goes. Can we get a embassy in there by chance? We proposed a trade agreement. The embassy they would not accept. It might be a bit too far away. Or really taking part in all of that. We probably don't really have that much influence over them either. Bavaria also would not take the embassy yet. I'm guessing they are also not supporting us for the... Nope, they're still -5. Can I actually see what is affecting that? So the cautious, that's one of them. Quarter relations and us being a great power does help us there. Hey, low progress ascent. So we might actually get the public health insurance, but that is going to require a lot more bureaucracy. So let's go ahead and start fixing that already preemptively. So Anhalt doesn't have that massive tax capacity. We'll increase the, at least build one level there. Then maybe Silesia could get a few more levels. We'll get another 2 in there. It's not so much that it's lacking in taxes, but it's also starting to be bloody massive city in there. Or state in terms of population. It's got, what, 2.5 million there, so yeah. It's got a lot of peasants available. Also go out and get a few more coal mines there and a couple iron mines. That will probably help a little bit with the productions. They're getting another steel mill in there, which is quite nice. Oh, Petit Porters is giving some bit of extra bureaucracy. Oh, that's going to be handy. We are still working on increasing the colonial affairs. We could maybe get the law enforcement increased, but I'm going to wait until we've gotten the health system and then figure out if we want to... Well, we'll probably do want to increase that actually further. There we go. So all of that is active there. We still don't have a border with Benin. It's a bit of a shame, but we will get there eventually. Then we'll start conquering a bit of land in Africa. Actually, we might want to get an army in Niger Delta. Sort of colonial army. Let's do that, shall we? There we go. So that's the first colonial army then set. Let's get a commander for it. I suppose the open terrain commander might not be too bad. It's armed forces commander, so that's going to be good enough. And then we can go ahead and just get, like, I don't know, 5 infantry in there to begin with. So we'll start building that over time, but that's going to be the starting army at least. And then we have at least someone defending our colony in here, which is going to be probably very vital in the future. Oh, Bavarian attitude improved, which does mean that they're probably... Will they support our efforts on uniting... Oh, they do support us. There we go, they're supporting us now. And can we get them... We get the trade agreement with them. They will not take the embassy quite yet. But at least we've gotten them to fairly good relations. I do actually wonder... If we get a... obligation with them, we could try to take the Rhineland from them. I don't know if they would actually accept that though, but since that is kind of separated from the market, they are having a lot of issues there. Ooh, there we go, colonial affairs level 3. Good, good, and that does mean that the speed over here has been improving a little bit further. There's still quite a bit of work to do on colonizing all of this, mind you. I suppose that is better than nothing. Steel frame buildings is now just less than 10 weeks away. Pretty decent, actually. Oh, right, so we did get the postal savings already earlier. And then the steel frame buildings, that's going to allow us to increase construction even further. It will also allow us to get the, what's the thing? The, skyscraper. That's the thing that I was trying to remember there. Oh, and now we're getting the 2 textile mills in Brandenburg. After that's going to be a whole lot of coal mines being built. among other things, of course. But the coal mines in particular, we are going to need a bit more explosives as well now that we're using those. Actually, I don't think we're using those too much in explosives yet. Hey, health insurance done. And Vox Populi. We already had that, though. So we can have up to 2 levels. We can't afford setting up... Oh, we can have up to 4 levels there total. Okay, that's going to require a whole lot of bureaucracy. But if we can get the health system in a very good shape, then honestly, that's going to allow us to get so much more population growing. That means that the industry is going to be able to grow a lot further as well. So I think there's a lot of good things potentially on the horizon. Right, the first colonial army, right, still a bit low organization because it doesn't actually have any troops there. That will be fixed eventually. Do have a lot of influence available. Right, so Bavaria, how are we doing in there? So we do not have a obligation yet. And the Pavlov embassy they would not accept. Military assistance they would also not accept. I wonder, so if trade states, Bavaria gives Bavarian Rhineland all an obligation, they would not accept. It's not too far off though. No, though, I don't think that's going to happen then. But the steel frame buildings will be happening very shortly. And that's going to allow us to increase construction speed even further. It's only 120 right now, so it's not like it's insane, but it is already pretty decent. For relatively early game, but you know, of course, we're playing as a lot larger nation than I'm used to. So it might not actually be that great. But I think let's go ahead and switch the construction sectors. This is going to be probably fairly expensive. We've got good cash reserves, so we can afford doing that. It'll require a lot more glass, steel, and tools, explosives. But the iron price will plummet, which means steel production is going to be quite cheaper. And of course, then fabric is going to be very cheap. Wood is going to be a lot cheaper. So overall, I think that's going to be... Maybe we don't want to do all at once, because I suspect that that might be a very poor decision-making there. I'm going to switch one of these to the steel frame building to cause a bit of demand for the resources. And then that's private sector. Oh, there's a lot of steel mills already being produced. Where could we produce some good glass works, actually? That's probably another good idea. Silesia would be pretty decent. I suppose they do need a lot of glass in there, so it makes sense. We'll get... probably 2 levels for that. Everything else is not going to be quite as effective, but none of the other places have quite as much demand for glass right now either. But pan-nationalism, I don't know if that... Right, that leads to the multilateral alliances, which we do need eventually. We don't need them too badly yet. We've got a whole lot of construction work going on. We did get up to 145 total construction already. We might be able to get that, actually. It's going to be 150, I reckon. And then we'll probably go ahead and upgrade the one in Westphalia as well. And it's going to be costly. And of course, the private sector is going to be paying half of that. We've got 7 million in this in Paul, so that's not too bad. But I do see, actually, that we are out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll show you the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.